We wanted to get together to talk business.
Hello and welcome to Superstars Writing Seminars live Q&A with one of our amazing sponsors from 2024. I have Dana Clare from the Inkfluence here. Dana, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here today.
Well, it's so fun to be able to talk to you about the cool things that you can do for writers. And so before we get started, your background, I'm curious about why you started the Inkfluence and what your background is.
Sure. Well, I kind of fell into it. I have been an importer for China for the last 20 years, and I've been in marketing and design in different stages of my life with large companies. Like the NFL was a client, Nordstrom's, Neutrogena. So working with those clients and learning all the things that they did for design and marketing and sales, essentially, led me to being able to offer some of my expertise in the author world. And about 4 years ago, I became an author and noticed that we were missing some of this stuff. There was like a gaping hole, and I wanted to fill it with some of my own expertise from design, importing, marketing, and sales. So that's kind of how I fell into this.
All right, so hang on a second. You just said this really quickly in passing, but
Wow.
you're also an author. So you get it from the inside, right?
Yeah. I mean, the writing part's like the easy part. it's the business side of it. It's the marketing that I think the writing's the sexy part. It's like, this is so much fun. You get lost in your characters. But it's like, at the end of the day, if you're not marketing what you're writing, nobody's going to know. Maybe just your best friend, your mom and your dad and your partner are going to know about this amazing masterpiece that you've written. So marketing is a huge part of your business.
Well, I love that because, yeah, you're right. Most writers, if you had a room full, at Superstars, right? So you have a room full of 400 writers there,
Yeah.
and you ask them, like, how many of you like writing? And I think most of them will put up their hands. How many of you like marketing? And then they leave the room. So yeah.
How do you clear a room fast at Superstars? Ask them about marketing.
yeah. Now you have to market. No, please no. All right. So you've got a suite of things that you offer, right?
Yeah.
For writers.
Yeah. So one of the things when I first started out that was kind of done very seldomly were these special edition books. And in the last, I'd say definitely last year, but even the last 2 years, special edition books have just blown up. I mean, we have publishers that are our clients now that are doing them. And I'm talking like, the foil on the dust jacket.
Hang on, I'm going to make you center screen. So this is a bigger.
So you've got the embossed foil on the dust jacket, the sprayed edges on the side, and then, maybe illustrated end papers. And then of course, the hardcover foil dust, or the foiled hardcover stamped as well. There's so many different things you can do. This is just an example of one, but these things have become really hot. And one of the other things that I think we as authors get sad about is the small margins we make. And with special editions, you have such a larger margin because the consumer is trained to spend more money on them.
Oh my goodness. I mean, as I was looking at the book you were holding up, I was just going, oh my God, this is really premiere. This is really sexy and exciting. But what I'm assuming that someone who's a real fan is probably willing to pay a bit more for those special editions, right?
Yeah, and there's so many different ways that you can do it. So just on a call right before this, where I was an author who goes to 20 cons a year.
Okay.
And she was like, I just want to do special editions for the cons that I attend to give them something that's exclusive,
right?
Create urgency at these events. So that's a way that you could do it. You could sell it on your store. It's a great way to be like, hey, I'm on retailers, but if you come to my direct sales page, you're going to get a special edition. And here's all the bells and whistles that you'll get here.
Oh, man.
And then the third way, which is something that we have started to do in the last 3 months, is doing it on Kickstarter, where your consumer is trained to spend almost 3 times the amount of money on a special edition book because they want to be part of the journey with you. So there's just so many different ways that you can do this where you have such higher margins and you're making the money you deserve for writing these amazing books.
So I want to use a real live Superstars example. So your first visit to Superstars was in February of 2024.
And it was amazing. It was the most amazing event that I've ever been to. It is a family, it is a tribe, and it literally melted my heart. It was one of the best things I've ever done.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're there. And I think you have an example of somebody who is a tribe member who was at Superstars, who actually went to talk to you at your table,
Yeah.
and you've already completed a campaign with
Yes.
them, right?
Yeah. So Katie Cross, my bestie, she's just a doll. I met her at Superstars, and it was so funny. We had spent a couple days with each other, and we never even spoke about special editions. We were just talking about like direct sales. I know it was
Okay.
wonderful.
Direct
Um,
sales, marketing, stuff like that, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
On the last day, she mentioned that she was doing a special edition. And I said, "Oh, that's what my company does. Can you tell me more about it?" And I saw the quote that she got from a broker, and I was appalled. It was twice as much as it should have been. So I said, "Can you just send me these specs and let me do some magic?" So we ended up getting her down by almost 50% for the cost. And he told her that she'd have to do 1,000 as a minimum, and we ended up getting her down to 250. I
Whoa.
believe the order was placed at 500 though, but
Well,
regardless,
probably because of the demand that Katie demanded for,
yes.
right? Her fans wanted that many, right?
And it was gorgeous. We did, and I don't have the sample with me here actually, but we did because I sent it to her, but we did a slipcase, a foiled slipcase too. So the actual,
Wow.
it was leather. It was a vegan leather with foil on it. It was just gorgeous.
Oh
Um,
man.
yeah, and she set her goal at 12,000 on Kickstarter, and she came in at 23,000.
Oh, that is amazing. And
Yeah.
and I think I saw Katie had shared on Facebook. I should have grabbed the video so I could play it here, but maybe I'll try and add a link to it under in the comments. But I
It's on my
saw when
website.
she received it, she played a video where she had just opened it up and was going through it and was gushing about how gorgeous it was.
Yeah, it was pretty spectacular. It's one of my favorites. And I love the vegan leather that she used. I thought
So
that
yeah,
was
tell me about the vegan leather. So obviously
sure.
it's not real leather. It's not made from cowhide.
Which is there's two reasons why I like that. You're going to get some consumers who aren't going to want to buy the real leather, which is totally fine. And then there's also the price point. We can do leather. I'm quoting, I think they're a superstar member too, but I'll leave their name out. I'm quoting a real leather book with foil stamping on that one for a
Right.
specific author. So we can do both. We can actually do, I normally have it next to me, but let me roll over here if you want to give me a
Oh my
single.
God, there's the slipcase. There's a slipcase. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, slipcase with a foil, and then this is a velvet.
Velvet.
Yeah, with a
Oh, I can feel it
oh
almost.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's so many different things that you can do. I just did, and this isn't just fantasy or sci-fi. I would think that's a perception that's been around for a little bit that's false now. We do a ton of romance, and this is something that's really cool too. You don't have to just do the outside jacket. I mean, you can do the interior of the dust jacket as well. So, you've got the outside dust jacket, and then maybe you want to do a scene or like a comic strip or maybe just character artwork.
Oh my
We have-
God, that is amazing. Yeah,
It's
so it's
so
not just
cool.
oh, hang on, I'll make you.
Yeah. Yep. So there's so many things that you can do. And the nice thing about working with us is we work with you where you're at. You could have a cover designer that you love, use them. Just, we'll give you the template, send it to us, and we'll make sure that it's printed in the correct, format and that it's fitted and sized correctly. And then we can just produce it for you, or we could do just the sprayed edges or just the foil stamping. Like we work with other designers all the time because somebody's like, I have to have my cover designer for this. That's fine.
Right,
So there's a
yeah.
lot of different things we can do for you.
Well, it's funny because I'm here. I'm the one who gets to interview you, so I get to ask questions that are important to me. But for those of you watching live, feel free to pop your questions into the comments, and I will, on your behalf, ask those questions. So I was asking because I do have a cover designer that I work with, but I am planning a 20th anniversary edition of the very first book I published coming out in the fall. And so that means I can take the design and the art, et cetera, from my cover designer, and then work with you to get a quote on various editions
Yeah.
for making it fancy. And then I guess, how does that work? Do I just go to your website and fill out a form, or how does that work?
So I'm a people person. I like want to get to meet my clients. Typically, I always like a discovery call, and you can just
Right.
jump on the website and do a discovery call. And it's for a couple reasons. One, unless you've been doing special editions forever, you're going to have questions. So I like to show you, all the examples that we have and give you a variety. But once you've ordered with me once, I mean, I just got another order from a client this morning. This is her sixth order. You know,
Whoa.
yeah, I mean, she just sends me text messages with order details at this point. So we're really easy to work with. I do like that initial discovery call
Of
for the
course.
first time I'm giving the quotes. Also, too, every book is different. So when someone's like, "Can you ballpark me?" I'd love to, but your page count matters. The size of the book. Are we doing a 5x8, a 6x9? And
Right.
then what embellishments and bells and whistles are we doing? Because I'm doing a book right now where we met yesterday, and originally she thought she wanted foil on everything. And when I saw the artwork, I said, you know what? I think we should foil the title. And then the elements, I think we should spot gloss and emboss them.
Oh,
Just because I think for that exact design, it would look more powerful. And she was like, yes. But had she just asked me to quote her and we never had that initial conversation, she might not have gotten the best idea that I could have provided her with having a one-on-one. So that's one of the reasons why I like that first discovery call, to be able to get to know the client and then work with them that way. But yeah, we don't have pricing on our website for anything but design, because design never changes. So if
right,
you
right.
go to our design services, you'll see what the design pricing is.
Well, I love that personal effect because I mean, authors are so used to going online. It's DIY. I'm going to push some buttons. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But you get a chance to really understand their book and their genre and what it's about, and make those recommendations. Which I mean, an online algorithm can't do, right?
Oh,
You clicking and looking at stuff, and you'll probably hold up samples. So it's like this. Um, so does that mean you help with the design and stuff like that, but you're
yep.
not actually manufacturing the book. You are sourcing where the best places are to get it?
So we have 3 factories overseas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we will choose one of our factories based on what we're doing, also what the volume is that we're giving them too. So
Right.
something that one of my clients asked me the other day, and she's like, "How come your pricing is better than my pricing?" And I went direct. I said, "Well, you don't order as many books as I do a month, do
Oh,
you?"
yeah, because you're the authors who work with you have the benefit of your account
Yes,
to publish mass volumes, right? Like Katie published 500 copies of that really
right.
beautiful special edition, and another author maybe two. You said this is their sixth order. Another author's coming back for, and they're usually not ordering one or two, I'm assuming.
No, I mean, I would say that I haven't had one author just order one round of books. I mean, we've done so many, which is what's been so great, is like the customer retention that we have has been exponential. Like I'm so blessed by that. And because every time we order more, the volume goes up. So I get volume discounts. Sometimes we're ordering 50,000 books in 1 month. So
Oh
that
my goodness. Whoa.
Yes, we work with publishers too. So
Yeah,
we just landed some publishing accounts that have helped with our quantities.
of course.
And those have been fantastic for us. And we love being able to do the hybrid, working with both sides of it. So we have 8 staffed designers and 2 illustrators and 1 character artist. So we do have a very big
Yeah, yeah.
big group of people. So there's enough to go around, that everybody's working on something constantly. And we're also doing the Kickstarter campaign management, which
Oh,
we do.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's a separate service, right? A Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah. So it happened because everybody who was doing, not everybody, but a lot of the authors that were doing special editions were like, well, we're doing it for Kickstarter. Do you know how to use Kickstarter? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, can you manage that too?
Hmm.
So we ended up hiring 4 project managers, and now we have over 30 Kickstarter ongoing campaigns right now.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so we are doing a lot, and that just started 3 months ago was our first run of that, and now we're up to 30. We're actually maxed out for all of June and July, but I already have 2 people signed up for August. So
Wow.
that's been really great for us too, because what we do is we do all of the design for the campaign. So
Yeah.
the cohesiveness of what you're doing for your special edition will run over to your campaign header cards and your rewards and your add-ons. So we keep everything
Right.
looking really sharp.
Oh, that is amazing. I love that. And it's wow, you're already booked into July for that. So authors really have to plan ahead.
Yeah, and we are hiring more people. That's like,
Uh,
I'm, juggling that too. The special editions I'm always involved in, but the campaigns, my project managers are fantastic, and they are solely working on those. So that has been really nice too, because as our organization is growing, we're able to add more people. So once we got maxed out in July, we started interviewing for more people for August, because August, I don't know if everyone knows this, is the #1 month on Kickstarter to run a campaign.
Really?
Do you know why?
No, no, why?
Because if you run it in August, timeline wise, all of the books are coming in for holiday.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, you run the campaign in August, and then the stuff gets fulfilled.
Yep.
Wow. What's the lead time for fulfillment? Let's say like 500 copies of a book that's going to be one of the examples you held up, the gorgeous with the interior artwork and the what was that? The not the
The
front
dust,
pages.
the dust jacket. Oh, the end
Well,
pages.
yeah, the
Yeah.
end pages. Yeah, the end pages, the dust jacket. All I mean, look at all that. That is just
You can
amazing.
even foil the end pages,
And they
people.
foil the end pages. Wow. So yeah, instead of just getting the standard white or black,
Yep.
you get some sort of artwork on there, and you have designers. So even if, for example,
Yeah.
an author has the cover designer, you have designers that can do design for the interior and make that
Oh,
look really sexy.
yeah. I mean, we have out of those 8 designers, we have some that are specific for end pages and sprayed
Oh,
edges,
cool. Oh,
because
wow.
we do try to turn those around really fast. So that's the other thing is, we're authors that hire cover designers, and sometimes they're booked for months.
Yes.
So that's something that I'm like, I'm a New Yorker. I wanted it yesterday.
Uh,
All of our turn time is between 1 and 2 weeks for initial drafts of covers, and then
right.
everything else is between 3 and 7 days. So you sometimes can get your sprayed edges back in 3 days, your end papers back in 3 days. Some of our publishers give us less than that.
Of course. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we do have really quick turn times. The only thing, well, actually, there's a couple things. We do maps. Maps take 4 weeks. There's just
Okay.
no way we can get past that. And
Yep.
then anything that is illustrated, like character artwork, that takes about 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how detailed
Okay.
that is.
Right, right, of course.
Yeah.
And that's the turnaround for the proofs?
Those are just that's the turnaround for artwork.
For
So,
the artwork to come back so you can have that. And then what I was curious about is the
the
turnaround on
production.
the physical stuff once everything's been approved.
Yeah. So this might be the one thing people are like, that stinks. And it does, because the turn time is 30 days production, and
Okay.
then anywhere between 25 days to 45 days on a boat. And the reason that's so large is 25 days is what we call a fast boat. And you can get it in 25 days door to door. So like leaving the factory to your home. If you choose a fast boat, which is like it depending on your quantity, it really isn't that significantly different. It's a couple $100.
Yeah.
Then you have regular shipping, which is between boat shipping, which is 30 to 45 days. And that just depends on where you live. So everything comes in FOB California, which is, freight on arrival in California. And then it gets shipped by UPS to your door. So that just depends on where you are. And
Yeah.
then
If you live in California, you're gonna get it a little sooner.
yeah, if you live in California, you're going to definitely get it a little sooner. But we can also do split shipments too. So I have a lot of clients in France and Canada, and we just sent something to Romania. We're sending things to a bunch of, Rare is coming up. So we've been getting some orders that are getting shipped directly to Rare. So it
Right.
doesn't matter where you're shipping it. I just need to know, and then we can get it sent there.
Well, you've already pre-answered my question about other countries because I'm calling from Canada here.
Yeah.
So yeah, wow, that is fantastic. But you also offer other services we haven't even talked about. So you assist authors with their direct sales, managing direct sales, or setting that up. How does that work?
So one of the things that is, I shouldn't even say it's in beta, but I like using the word beta. It's in beta right now. We set up SOPs for running, designing and running, not running, running's not the right word, designing Shopify pages,
Right.
and then setting up your initial automations with whatever email service you're using,
Oh
whether that's,
wow. And so just clarify, SOP is standard operating procedure, not
yes.
not
Oh,
SOB.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, okay.
We had those in place right away. Actually, this is a very fun Superstars story. So
Okay.
I was at lunch with like 15 very sweet authors, and I was telling them about my operations manager, and my background is in e-commerce. And we've set up a lot of large companies on Shopify, and also their marketing, email marketing and SMS marketing, which I did talk about SMS at Superstars. And I will be talking at Author Nations about SMS too. So I made this comment about how we had a rollout plan for Q4 in 2024 for our direct sales. Anyway, long story short, somebody from that table was like, I want you today. So I was like, okay. So we did. We actually picked them up. I'm just not going to name them yet because I think they're doing like a big reveal about it.
Okay.
So we picked them up as a client. Their page looks amazing. And we've been setting everything up from their Shopify pages to their email marketing, SMS marketing, and their loyalty. So that will be rolling out in October of this year
Oh
to
wow.
everybody else, and will be on our website. But right now we're trying to hire more people for campaigns and special editions. So those are our 3 tiers, and that's where we're going to stop. But those are the things we're experts at, and we know that we can serve our community by doing those things.
That's amazing. And just to think all of the things that you've done since February when we were hanging out in Colorado Springs at Superstars. Wow, that is amazing. You
Yeah.
also help authors with email campaigns too, right?
Yep, that's going to be part of the direct sales. It'll be,
That'll be part of that. Okay. All
yep,
right.
it'll be an add-on. If it's, you just want a Shopify account set up for you, then we will do that. It's over a 3-month span. So we give you payment plans for 3 months. So it makes it much more affordable. And then
Right.
it gives us 3 months to do it, where we can factor in other clients and their projects as well. So we
Wow.
also have a pretty extensive management system. So whether you're a client for a Kickstarter campaign or direct sales, you have access to our project management system, which we use monday.com. And then we also give you a dedicated Slack channel. So you have access to our employees and myself
Right.
at all times.
That's cool. I like that. I really like that. So I have to ask, I think one of the most important questions that I feel deep in my heart is, Dana, when do you have time to do your own writing now, or is that taking a back seat because of all the stuff you're doing to help other writers?
Yeah, so it is really funny because I am a hybrid. So I am traditionally published, and I do have a contract with my trad books. So those are the ones that I'm working on right now.
Of course, you have a contract. You got to hit the deadline, right?
Yes. So some of it has taken a backseat. I have a bookkeeper who's lovely, and she mentioned that we are really taking off at the Inkfluence, and maybe some of my writing will be more sporadic, but
Right, right.
I'm still an author. I mean, I just went to 2 cons, and we sold out of all of our books there, and I still love writing. I'm trying to balance it a little bit more and keep like 2 days for writing, and then the rest of it is the Influence. But I really have an amazing staff, and we're only 7 months old. So
Whoa, wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So for being a very young company, we have over 15 employees. So I believe that's right, or 12 employees, something of that nature. So we are growing. And I do think like once we get to a good growth place, there'll be more time for writing.
Well, that maybe explains why I hadn't really heard of the Inkfluence until I saw you at Superstars. I knew you, but
Yeah,
I had not heard Inkfluence yet because it was only a couple months old then.
it was a baby. I mean, it's still a baby. I've
Yeah,
been doing this for so long, but I just it just became one of those things that we did and we did well, and people were so excited that we've been really referral based. We haven't had any ads. This is my first, live talking about it. I did have the wonderful opportunity on being on a live for the Facebook group for Kickstarter, which I employ you guys to sign up for. They're lovely, and I'm on there answering a lot of questions. So I did do that, but other than that, we haven't done any marketing yet. So
oh,
this is really,
wow.
really the beginning.
Oh, that's cool. And you started, your in-person campaigns, et cetera, at Superstars in February, as I understand
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
that was my first one coming out as the Inkfluence, and to see, I mean, at that point, I was like, oh, I think I'm just helping like friends, and then it was like friends of friends, and I was like, okay, now it's
Yeah.
like more of a business, and
Well, I
then
mean, that's one of the greatest compliments you can get is when you've worked with somebody and they rave about you so much that someone's like, where's the contact information? I want to work with them." Right.
yeah. I mean, and honestly, I really care. Like that's like this peppy cheerleader spirit is real. I really want to help people because I've learned so much in my career, and now to be able to bring it to an industry that I'm super passionate about,
Right.
this is like a dream. So everybody who contacts me is making my dream a reality. So I couldn't be more grateful for that. So it's been a whirlwind, but it's been the most amazing thing that's ever happened. So
Oh,
it's
that is fantastic. So as we get close to the end of our chat, is there any particular advice? So again, when we started off the conversation, it was about, writers, yes, marketing,
yeah,
scary. What advice you'd have for writers who are nervous about marketing, like as an author yourself, as somebody who
sure.
helps authors, what's some advice that you'd like to help them with when it comes to thinking about marketing?
Well, I think best advice is that you can't do everything. So you have to figure out, and Mark, you and I were actually sitting on a panel where we were talking about this at Superstars. You have to figure out what feels good for you and what you're comfortable doing. So like
Yeah.
if you're like, hey, running ads feels good to me and I actually know how to do that, then that is your marketing. If you feel really strongly about your Facebook group and you've got a good following there, that could be your marketing vehicle. Like I am not good on TikTok. So that's not going to be my marketing vehicle, but
Right.
I'm good at other things. So I think you have to figure out like make a list of all the different things you'd like to do for marketing and then pick maybe like 1 to 3 that you feel really comfortable starting and then do those well, and then you can start adding to that list. And I think taking it like little bits and pieces and baby steps will help you evolve and grow faster and more efficiently.
Oh, that is fantastic. No, thank you for that. That's awesome. And I'm assuming that there are some people watching this who go, "Oh, okay. That now you've made it easier for me to digest. It's not this big massive scary thing. It's something I can take piece by piece."
And I feel it too. Like
Yeah.
I don't want you guys to think like I'm sitting here and being like, "Oh, marketing's easy." No, like I feel those pain points where I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, I don't think I can get on TikTok. I'm on
Right.
Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. Like I don't think
Yeah.
I can do one more type of, outreach to be able to facilitate my book business." So I even take my own advice and reined it back in. My assistant manages my TikTok and I manage my Instagram, and that feels really good for me. And now
Yeah,
we
it's
got
natural. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I love the fact that you admit, like, yeah, TikTok, I don't get the platform. It's not for me. I'm not jiving with it. I'm just going to have somebody else take care of that for me,
yep,
which you have to do as a business owner. You can't be doing all the micromanaging. You have to trust the team to take care of things.
you
But no,
do.
I love that approach. Yeah, you're looking at something like, I really like Instagram. I feel it. I'm part of it, and that's the one I'm going to spend my time on. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
And I love in-person events. If I could do an in-person event every other weekend,
Yes.
that would be like the best thing in the world for me. And I realized in the last Superstars is really, I mean, I'm gonna have to start dedicating stuff to Superstars on the regular because after that event, my world changed. And I realized that I'm 44 years old and I started in sales at 22. And the number one thing that I did in my early 20s that afforded me, a house at 25 was that I made all of my sales in person because that's where I tend to do really well.
Right.
So after Superstars, I had a, internal conversation with myself that said, you need to get out there because this is what you do best. And that really catapulted my business because I started going to more in-person events. And that's really why we are where we are today, because I knew that was my strength. So
Right.
whatever your strength is, you got to follow those strengths because they're not going to be mine. And that will be how you succeed. So again, I know you didn't pay me to say this, but I can't rave more about Superstars because it changed my life.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. I hear lots of people say that it has changed my life as well, which is why they can't get rid of me. I'm coming back every single year.
Me too.
So it'll be great to see you in person again, and in November I'll see you, and then again in February at Superstars. So Dana, again, where can people find out more about you and about the Inkfluence?
Yeah. So if you go to theinkfluence.com, make sure the is there because inkfluence.com is a tattoo shop. And
Oh,
they've called me. They've actually called me and been
I'm
like,
sure they're wonderful people, but they don't do what you do.
they don't, but they really like us. I mean, they will forward us emails constantly. They're great people. But the influence and my calendar link is up there, but you can also email me, dana@theinkfluence.com. And I
Okay.
answer every email within 24 hours. So
So DANA at theinkfluence.com in case anyone's just listening and not looking at the screen.
yes,
Awesome.
that is correct.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
Dana, thanks again for hanging out with me. And I look forward to hanging out with you in person again sometime
Yes.
soon.
2 more times.
Yeah. Awesome. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, everybody.